Kunbanwa,
こんばんは。
or I could say Mingalaba.
ミンガバー。
Church family, I want you to meet a good friend of mine. This is Hideki Ui, and he's a pastor from Japan, but he serves in Yangon, Myanmar with his wife, Yumi. Now, you know our church has for years been involved in ministry in Myanmar, both in the country as well as here in Norway and throughout Europe through the work of Pumsa Chen, who's on staff as a pastor with us. But it's also really exciting to know another international church that's based in Myanmar, the only international church that I know of in all of Yangon, which is a large city. And so I wanted to invite Hideki here, especially with KR, who's going to be preaching today, just to share a little bit about what God's doing through his international church there and how God's using MICN around the world. So today, Hideki, I wanted to first check in with you and find out, how is ministry going? I mean, this pandemic has changed things for us and our church here at North Sea. We're online right now, hoping to get back in person soon. But I'm sure it's impacted you all in some unique ways. So can you tell us, how are things going there?
Yeah, thank you, David, giving me this opportunity. So since March 22nd, we shifted all our ministry online. And then about, let's say, 2/3 of our congregation have left the country. They went back to home countries. And then, but we are still have the regular Sunday services and the weekday, the meetings on Zoom. The number-wise, the attendance began a lot went down, but the relationship actually become closer and deeper. Interestingly, there are some people who went back to their home country, but they couldn't find any suitable church there. They still feel NLIF, a church, is their home church. And then they continue to be part of the fellowship online and joining the Sunday services. So that is kind of like an overall situation in our church industry-wise.
It's neat to hear about it. It's unique. You've had 2/3 of your people leave, you're saying, but many are even tuning in from their home countries, which is wonderful. And you say you're having less people than in the service, but you're able to have like a conversation with them.
So because the number of the attendance was lower than before in the meeting, so we could have more a private conversation and then longer time to share their own things, and it lead us to the deeper the relationship actually.
That's great. So it's less people, but it's going deeper than it ever could before. That's wonderful.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Now, before I ask you another question, I need to realize I forgot to mention to your church that Hideki also serves on my international leadership team with MICN. So he's on my leadership team there. But we first met in Malaysia, I believe. So Hideki, you've been involved with MICN for a few years now. Can you tell the church, how has that impacted you and your wife and your ministry?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Actually, our church is the only international church in Yangon. Although there are some English-speaking churches here, and so I had a feeling like an isolation. I was only alone here, and since I joined the MICN, I know there are someone whom I can anytime in share my struggles and my feelings, and I can expect they fully understand what I'm talking about, why I'm struggling with these kind of things, and that's actually helped me a lot to release my stress or the worries. And because I know there's someone I can talk. And also since the David invited me to join the ILT, actually that's beyond my ability, I think. But so that gave me a kind of special opportunity to not just receive the blessing, the care from MICN through other MICN IC pastors, but I could have that kind of opportunity to kind of being part of the mission of the MICN, and in some capacities I can serve for the other international churches. That's for me the amazing blessing.
Well, I'm glad to have you on the team, Hideki, and what you contribute is always of great value. But I'm also glad we can pour into your life. Church family, one of the reasons MICN exists is to eliminate isolation. It's something we went through a whole process identifying what is it that we really bring to the table in the lives of especially pastors and church leaders. And we found that a lot of international church leaders feel isolated. They feel like nobody really understands their ministry. They don't have other churches down the street they can talk to, and they can't always talk to people in their churches. And so MICN gives an opportunity for that. So it really warms my heart to hear you, Hideki, saying how that made a huge difference. You can talk to people, they understand you and what you're dealing with. That's one of the big things it's all about. Thank you so much for sharing that. We're about to have a time of prayer here in the church. How can my church be praying for you and your wife, Yumi?
Okay. First of all, please pray for the God's the guidance, and so we want to be the blessing for the expats community in Yangon, as well as we want to be the blessing to the local communities as expats community. And there's a unique situation, and this is the first time ever our church and myself, the facing and how to handle this kind of things. So everything is new and a learning opportunity, and but I believe there is something that we can do because of this situation, but we don't want to miss the opportunity. And then please pray for the God's guidance and the wisdom how we can be a blessing and make impact to the city. And also for the church, as I just shared, the number of the attendance went down, and also we couldn't meet together. And in Myanmar, there's still a cash-based country, which means it affects to our church finance as well. And then on that, our church has been supporting 8 church planting ministries or local churches around Yangon, as well as outside Yangon, the different part of the provinces. So we need the really special wisdom how we can continue to be partner of the mission in Myanmar with this unique the relationship we have with local pastors and churches. Yeah, we appreciate your prayer.
Well, those are some big things you're dealing with, and so we'll be praying for you now. Thank you so much for taking the time to share with us and be a part of our service today, Hideki.
Yeah, thank you very much that you're giving me this opportunity. Yeah.